One of the greatest feelings in the world is doing something that you've been putting off for such a long time because you know you can do it and you know you're capable of doing more in your life. And if you just did this one thing, you would check off one step, one part of the list of becoming a better person, becoming who you are meant to be, who you are capable of being. And today I took one of those steps. One of the steps was cleaning up a mess that I made in the past. I have a bunch of wood laying around that's just rotting. And so I was cutting it up and I threw it in the fire, got a fire started. And I told Tyler, my buddy, I was like, we were just on the phone and I was like, yeah, there's this massive fire in the fire pit. He's like, dude, I should come over. I was like, yeah, 100%. And then he came over and then we were like, dude, for a long time, it's going to sound so frat house of me, but for a long time, we've been having conversations at night and we've been saying to ourselves, we should start a podcast called Why Not Us, right? That's been our whole mantra, our whole phrase, our whole saying for the past couple of months. And like, for example, we asked like, why not run a triathlon? Why not run an Ironman with no training? Why not run a marathon with no training? All these different questions. And we actually went out and did it. We ran a marathon without training for it. We ran an Ironman without training for it. And we're going to continue doing crazy stunts without doing any training or just saying, why not, But because I have been saying for a while, I want to do this podcast, well, we went out there and the two of us, we recorded this episode and I can just feel that this is the beginning of something huge. When you take on that responsibility of doing something that you've been putting off for a long time that you know you should be doing, when you finally take on that responsibility, you're opening the door to that new future. You know it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. So you take that first step, you walk through the door, and then you just keep going. Start running. Run with it, Don't stop. And it makes you wonder, like, okay, I can do that. I'm not useless. What are the other things in my life that I should be doing that I need to just go out and start doing, For me, that's reaching out to people to interview about all the different countries, because I mentioned a couple of times I travel a bunch and I want to become the world record fastest trip holder to every single country. So I want to have the world record fastest trip to every country in the world. There's 196 of them, and right now the world record's like 18 months. I want to do it in 1 year. So 12 months. Beat the record by six months, which is pretty substantial. But in order to be able to go on that trip, I need to know what are the places to go in every single country. I need to meet people so that I have people to meet up with along the way. And this is a huge responsibility, a huge idea that I've had for such a long time. I think I came up with it like 2.5 years ago, and I've been interested in it ever since. It's captivated me, but it's sometimes is hard. You become paralyzed because it's such a big idea, it's such a far out there concept. You have to break it down and do little pieces at a time. And so I've taught myself today, I showed myself today that I can actually do something cool, something valuable. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing with this 200 countries idea. I'm going to go out there and start emailing people and try to pull together some interviews. One step at a time. Consistency. Take a leap of faith. Do something that you've been putting off for a long time and open the door to the future you that made it big. I'm excited. Life could be a dream.